What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Daniel's Stock Bites. Here on this channel, we talk about high growth tech stocks in the format of a video that's around 2 to 5 minutes long. And in today's video, we're doing the same thing with PayPal. So before we start, leave a like down below as well as subscribe if you enjoy these quick stock bites. If we jump into this email that I have right here from ARK Invest, it shows all the investments that they bought and sold today. And we can see here that I highlighted all the PayPal transactions that they had. So they bought 24,000, 271,000, 267,000, and 116,000 shares of PayPal in multiple ETFs. So if we do the math here, that's roughly 678,000 shares of PayPal multiplied by PayPal's price. We'll just take the ending price for today, which is roughly around $180. So they bought about $122 million worth of PayPal stock, which is crazy. None of you guys who are watching this video, and including myself, have anywhere close to $122 million. If you do, you are crazy, and why are you watching this channel? You're probably better off running your own business because you're so successful. Anyways, that's the facts right there. ARK Invest bought $122 million worth of PayPal. Another interesting thing here, though, on this email is that they sold off one of PayPal's competitors, Square. They sold off Square and 3 other ETFs. The 3 funds which they bought PayPal in and sold Square in were their ARK FinTech Fund, ARK Innovation Fund, as well as the ARK Next Generation Internet Fund. And we can see that they sold off 28,000 Square shares, 417,000 Square shares here, and 71,000 Square shares. So if we do the quick math, we can see 20,000 plus 418 actually, and 71,267,000. That equals 517 shares of Square. And Square, I believe, is roughly at around 158,000. We can see that they sold off around $81.6 million worth of Square stock. So we can see that they're shifting the money out of Square and putting it into PayPal, so it seems. If we looked a little bit deeper into their FinTech Innovation Fund, we can see a little bit more happening here, which is the fund that's focused on FinTech like Square and PayPal. So here we can see that Square is their #1 holding, and it sits at around 9.52% of the portfolio, versus PayPal, which is the #10 holding, and it sits at around 3.45%. So I think maybe the fact that Square is reaching close to 10%, and it is quite far ahead in terms of weighting compared to the next holding, which is Pinterest. So maybe this is why ARK is selling off Square, because they probably bought these shares in when it was like $70, $80, or even $20 per share. Versus PayPal, they still have a fairly small interest in PayPal. And another thing to note about PayPal, if we quickly go to PayPal stock, we can see that PayPal today took a tumble. So it started out at around $187 and tanked all the way down to $179.81, which represents a drop of 4% in one day. So it does make sense that ARK is loading up on PayPal right now. And if we go into the charts, I can show you something interesting here. So we can see the charts here that PayPal was actually bouncing around its 100-day moving average, but it did drop significantly below that. And that might be another driving factor as to why people at ARK Invest decide to buy into PayPal today. Because looking at the trend of PayPal before, it bounced off its 100-day moving average here, and now it's bounced below or dropped below. So we're probably going to see PayPal trade between its 200 and 100-day moving average, and ARK Invest is just trying to average into the position here. And ultimately, as an ETF, they have millions of dollars of cash because they continue to buy and sell stocks each and every day. So they have the cash to fund more PayPal operations, assuming that they sell off other stocks going forward. Square and PayPal are both very innovative companies, but I personally like Square a bit more just because they probably have more room to run up compared to PayPal, which is a larger company, and Square is more about innovation compared to PayPal. Square was one of the first largest financial tech companies that had adopted Bitcoin, and PayPal is now just catching on to that. We don't really know how Bitcoin is going to play out in the future, but I believe that Square has more of a culture of innovation, and companies that innovate are the ones that are going to win. PayPal has a little bit less, and they're a bit of more of an older company because they've been around, more established. I think that they're going to possibly lag behind Square going forward in the future in terms of their technology stack. These are all just my opinions and how I view these companies. You may have a differing opinion. Let me know that in the comments down below if you do. Let me know also if you have PayPal or Square and why you're bullish on each of these companies, or if you're bearish. Leave a like down below as always, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.